Well, hello, baseball fans, and welcome to this episode of the Kino Lamar Viking Baseball Coaches Show. I'm Bill Frawley, and with me, as always, head baseball coach at Lamar High School, Paul Kino. Coach, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well. It's interesting. It's about 5 o'clock on a Sunday, and after 35 years, it's about one of the few Sundays I haven't been with the youth group. I retired from my youth ministry last week, so it kind of frees us up to do this anytime on Sunday now.
Yeah, but you're really good at what you do. I mean, not only just baseball wise, but helping kids out. So, they're gonna miss you.
Well, thanks. I'll miss them also, but anyway, but man, beautiful weather yesterday. We'll get to some scrimmage stuff in a minute. The teams all got to compete. But if you would bring us up to speed, we talked last, I think it was maybe right before the Christmas holidays, and kind of, baseball class was going on. But if you'd let us know what happened with baseball at the beginning of this semester, and then the tryouts, and then what's going on into the scrimmage. We had three yesterday.
Like the last 6 weeks of the first semester, we start our throwing program. Obviously, we're lifting. We still do skills. But, we tell the kids that they need to, good weather. They need to keep throwing over Christmas break because when we get back, it happens very quickly. We get back, pitchers started throwing flat grounds and working their way up, building their pitch count up. And then we went on to bullpens. The first day of tryouts was our first bullpens with varsity pitchers. We threw live bullpens to hitters and played basically scrimmage format. So tryouts went really, really well. They were very smooth. Um, like what we saw. There's some talent at the younger levels. So I was really pleased. Um, then we start practice. It's always kind of hectic the first couple weeks or whatever because you got a lot of things going on. You got first pitch banquet, you got pictures, you got to issue uniforms, you got to make rosters, you got to do all those things. So I'm kind of glad it kind of settled down. We got our first scrimmage in Saturday. Like you said, it was really nice weather, but the first couple days ahead before that, Friday was good, but thank goodness because it helped the field dry out. But Wednesday, Thursday, it poured. But fields were good to go. We played Pascal. We played really well at the varsity level. I was really pleased. Obviously for a first scrimmage, I was really pleased with where we're at right now. And we should because we have quite a few number of guys returning that were played on the varsity last year. But we do have a mixture of some guys who didn't play varsity last year. So you're always kind of wondering, how they're going to show up, how they're going to perform at the varsity level. But for a first scrimmage, I thought we played really well. Played good defense. We battled at the plate, and we pitched well. We filled it up. We threw a lot of strikes. We didn't walk people, and that's kind of our philosophy. It. Throw strikes, don't walk people, make the routine play, battle at the plate. You say if you win a scrimmage, we won 9-3, but I don't ever look at winning a scrimmage. Like I told the kids, I said, I just want to play well because if we play well, we're always going to have a chance to win. And that's my feeling. We're talented enough that if we play we make the routine plays and we don't walk people and, we go up and we have good at bats that we'll give ourselves a chance to win. So that's the biggest thing is just how we play. That's what I consider. And I thought we did a good job for scrimmage.
Well, that's great. And now I think about the number of seniors that graduated last year from the
Mhm.
team, quite a few. And so the talent moving up, the new talent coming in. So it sounds like things are off to a really good start so far.
They are, we're probably going to make a few mistakes here and there because, we do
Sure.
have some either seniors that haven't played that much at the varsity level, or we got some juniors. We do have some guys who started for us as sophomores last year, a couple. And, so there is some, knowledge and there is some understanding of how to play at the varsity level, but there's also some talented kids that have not played at the varsity level yet. And it's a different ball game there. And so they got to figure it out. So, I mean, we did play well on Saturday, but I'm sure there's going to be some growing pains somewhere that we're going to have to learn from and correct things and fix them and move on.
It's interesting thing about the winning the scrimmage 9-3 at the varsity level. I didn't even keep, mental count score a little bit at the sub varsity ones. I got to be at both the JV1 and JV2 scrimmages on Saturday. And it's interesting telling, some of the parents that are newer to the program. Now, you're not going to see a scoreboard going right now. It's not about that. It's about getting those reps and getting the offensive and defensive reps.
Well, what was crazy is Pascal did run a scoreboard, so I don't know why,
Oh,
because
did they?
normally they don't. Normally
Okay.
nobody runs a scoreboard during scrimmages, but they
That
kind of run a scoreboard for whatever reason. We actually need to flip ours on and make sure everything's functioning and working before the first tournament.
good
Uh,
point.
so, so we need to do that. But other than that, it's going pretty smooth right now. It's, got a great group of kids at all levels. I'm having fun at practice with them. They're fun to be around. They're learning. It's early in the season, so everybody's really happy and excited. When you get about mid-season, we'll see how much they want to listen. But no, they're great kids. Like I've said before, I think I coach the best kids in their school. So I feel very fortunate for that. They're great kids.
Well, that's good. One thing I remember you mentioning at the first pitch banquet this year, as always, and you probably mentioned it at the parents' meetings too. But you have a set, including yourself, of four varsity coaches.
Yes.
You don't look at it as, I mean, I know come game time, there'll be someone coaching JV1, JV2, and everything. But in practices, y'all coach the whole program, right?
Yes, I coach infielders. So I coach all the infielders at all levels. Coach Rabinskis is the outfield coach. He coaches outfield at all levels. Kind of we speak the same language he and I do hitting wise. So, kind of turn some hitting over to him as far as in the cages. He kind of makes our routine for what we hit on the field, the varsity hits on the field. Now I'm by the cages because I'm hitting fungo to the infielders while they're hitting. So I'm talking a lot of hitting too with the varsity players.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some load off my plate. And he's a really good coach. Coach Goodman has all the pitchers in the whole program, and Coach Viard has all the catchers in the whole program. And that's the way I look at it. I mean, they're all varsity coaches. You know, I value their opinions on everything that they tell me. I may go with it, I may not go with it, but I always want their input. I value it. So, I'm very lucky to have the staff that I have. Very lucky.
Gotcha. This is a question that just pops into my mind while we're just talking right now. Like a lot of times, a lot of questions. We don't script these out. I think people learn
No.
that or whatever. Y'all, I'll just come up with a question. But are there any positions that are tougher to coach than others? And the reason I ask this is my son David played catcher, and I used to think even when he was doing it in youth league or fall ball stuff, whatever, growing up. All right, you catch the ball, you throw it back, you look and see if you can gun someone down or throw them out, and it's a lot more complicated. And I know every position has a lot of things going on, but are there any positions that are tougher to coach than others, or does that even
I
make
don't,
sense the way I ask that?
I don't know. I think every position has its own little I can't say the word
And
intricacies.
yep,
Has its own little intricacies to it. I mean, a left fielder, a ball off a right hander is going to hook more off a right-handed hitter. A lefty's going to slice. You got to know all these things. Like outfield. Is he big? Is he going to hit for power? If he's left-handed, I kind of slide to the left. I scoot in a little bit, depending on how big the guy is. Just a lot of little different things. Like middle infielders read the swing. Is he early? If he is, I
okay,
need to slide over. I need to position myself correctly. And it depends on who's on the mound also pitching for us. If he doesn't throw as hard, you're probably going to play to pull more, those kind of things. And it's just a lot of little things. But I think each position has its own set of things that have to be taught and you have to learn, not just skill wise, but also mental wise.
mm-hmm,
And so I can't say one's harder than the other.
okay.
Um, it's just the fact of learning how to play each position.
And I guess also you alluded to this at least, if not, you just came out and said it, but basically also mentally knowing what the situation is,
Mm-hmm.
recognizing this batter's coming up again. Here's what he did last time, as well as okay, I've got a runner over here, or no runners, and the count. I mean, every pitch is a whole new
Exactly.
situation.
I mean, hitter ahead in the count's going to be more aggressive, more likely to get the barrel out, more likely to pull a baseball. That's why we throw a lot of usually that's why we throw a lot of off speed on when they're ahead in the count. But it also factors in is the pitcher able to throw off speed for a strike that day. You know, but a lot of things. Is a hitter more defensive if he's 0-2, 1-2, he's more defensive. Like what we teach, really let the ball travel because then when you're doing that, you're less likely to chase pitches that are out of the zone, like a curveball down the dirt. Because if you're looking to pull, you're probably going to chase that pitch because you're being more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just a lot of little things. Um, but there's so much to teach in baseball. There's so much to teach. Uh, but it's a lot of fun. And like I said, the kids are a lot of fun. So we're enjoying it. We're having a really good time.
Excellent. Yeah, there is a lot to teach. And I think the more that family members, friends, whoever come out and watch and have something at stake in the game more than going to, say, a Rangers game, but they've got a player on the field, the more they really pay attention, the more they get an understanding of, yeah, there's a lot to teach and a lot to learn. And someone playing in any position at all has just as much challenge, of making sure they make that play as anyone else.
Hmm. I would say, playing up the middle, the center fielder, the shortstop, the second baseman, the catcher, they tend to make more calls than like a left fielder or a right fielder.
Okay.
And really the middle infielders, especially where we're throwing a baseball, with runners on, if it's a deep fly ball and it's first and third, and we're not going to have a chance to throw the kid out the plate. We need to bring the ball to two. So they're going to be making more calls than a lot of guys on the field are going to be making. So they have
Okay.
to, mentally understand the game really well.
Okay. A couple other questions that come to my mind to talk about as much as you want to. Um, y'all have y'all do a lot of weight room work and conditioning during the fall and coming into January. That's got to make a difference through the season. Like earlier, you said, "Yeah, we'll see midseason how much they're listening or this or that." It can also get to be the doldrums, possibly. Not that it's ever happened with Lamar Vikings, but all that conditioning. What kind of impact? And it may be the stating the obvious, but what kind of impact does that have come the season?
I'm hopefully a lot. Uh, they're working hard in the weight room. Obviously, if you take two athletes that are the same, the stronger athlete's probably the better athlete. So we're working hard in the weight room. Hopefully, we're lifting twice a week. We'll lift twice a week during the season. Right now we're lifting Monday and Wednesdays. Once we get into district and the sub varsity start playing on Wednesdays, double headers, we'll move and lift Monday and Thursday. But you want your athletes to stay strong during the season. So we're not necessarily lifting to get big or to gain. We're lifting to maintain right now. But hopefully it works and it works out for us. I think, you know, one, athletes gain confidence in themselves.
Okay.
I really truly believe that when you're in shape and you feel strong, you feel very confident about yourself. And the more confident you feel about yourself, a lot of times the more successful you are because it's how you view yourself. And a lot of times how you view yourself can determine whether you're going to be successful or not be successful. If you think you can go out and hit the pitcher, you know, you got a good chance. If you think, oh my God, this guy throws hard, I have no chance, and you may not even say I have no chance to yourself, but oh my God, this guy throws hard, you're already defeated before you step in the batter's box.
Mentally
So
take yourself out of the
yeah,
game. Yeah.
exactly. So I mean, if you feel confident in yourself, and I do believe the weight room helps that, you feel strong, you feel good about yourself, then I think you have a chance to play better. And not only, I mean, balls pop off the bat faster. You swing a little bit faster because you have more strength.
Yeah. Last question I've got popping into my mind as we talk, and we had great weather yesterday. Hopefully, we would have great weather every scheduled scrimmage, tournament, game, and everything. But I want some people to, I'm going to do this for your sake, hopefully, if it sounds right. But I hope people understand when a game gets rained out or weathered out or whatever. And I want people to know how hard you coaches try, especially for the sub varsity. The varsity, they're going to make up those games somehow, sometime because it makes, district standings. But for the JV1, JV2, I want people to understand how hard y'all try to get makeup games, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, I mean, we do. I mean, we're on the phone. Usually we're trying to make it
Yeah,
up the next day. Biggest thing is having umpires. They have a shortage of umpires right now. So that's the hardest part is making sure umpires can cover the games. But we want our kids to play because that's how they get better. So I
exactly.
mean, we're always going to try to make up every game that we can make up.
Sure. I just wanted to put that out there because
Well,
I think
thank
some
you
of the
very
newer
much.
parent, you're welcome. I think some of the newer parents at times just might not know what all goes into that, and they just think it's as easy as, hey, let's just get another game going, and you're dealing with a lot of stuff,
Well,
transportation,
yeah, you got
fields.
buses, you got all those things that rolled into it. You got to call the trainers, you got to set it up with the trainers, you got to set up with admin. There's got to be an admin on duty. There's got to be a lot of things. It's just not one easy little phone call.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So a couple of more rounds of scrimmages, and then the tournaments begin toward the end of the month.
February 20th is first tournament game.
Yeah. Okay. And so 3 weekends of tournaments, and then the district play starts. So a lot of stuff coming down the line. What can parents and family members and other caregivers, anyone that's associated with the player, what can they do to best help support the program?
Obviously join the booster club, obviously helping the concession stand. That's a big money maker for us. And it always seems to be the same few parents always taking all the shifts. Uh, you know, I'd rather have a lot of people doing a little than a little people doing a lot.
Yep.
So, do those things. Biggest thing is, come support your kid and support all the kids, not just yours. I mean, we don't take playing time lightly as far as our decisions about who plays, who doesn't. It's not select baseball where everybody gets to play the same amount. So, we are playing to win, and, the better players usually do play more, obviously. Um, if you have a problem with some of our decisions, I will, and I promise you, my staff will respectfully listen to you voice your concerns to us. But at the same time, hopefully that you can, or the parents can also understand that, it's not out of malice. I mean, if your son's hitting 340, I've never benched a 340 hitter in my life. So, I mean, the only way I'm benching a 340 hitter is if I got 9 guys hitting 360, hitting above
Yeah.
340. Well, I mean, you know, we're going to be honest with you, and we're not trying to hurt feelings, but we're not going to sugarcoat things, because when you do that, it tends to come back and haunt you when you try to be nice and sugarcoat things. So we're going to be honest, and we're going to be respectful. But we're just going to tell you, he's not one of the best nine right now for this reason. And we'll give you the reasons why he's not one of the best nine and what he needs to do to work on. We're not going to compare players. Um, we don't do that. I've always said, if you want to compare a player, then I need to stop that meeting right there. I need to call that other players' parents, and they need to come up, because if you're going to say something about their child, they need to have the opportunity to say something about your child, which we don't do that anyways. But
Right.
you know what I mean. Um, but anyways, biggest thing is just come support all the kids. Support the coaches as best you can. You may not agree with all our decisions, but support us as best you can. You know, join the booster club. If you don't want to join the booster club, at least figure a way to some way to help the program out.
Sure. Hey, and since you brought this up, and I'll just toss it out there. I had two sons go through the program, 4 years, both of them, different talent levels, different playing time, whatever. But you and the coaches have always been very approachable. And I remember even just mentoring one of my sons more than the other about, hey, if you're not satisfied or you're curious, I encourage you to go talk to coach, whichever it was you at that time, and ask the question, what can I do to get better?
Mm-hmm.
And start off with that frame of mind. Again, a lot of newer families, people into the program. I just thought I would share that also and give you the chance to plug the 24-hour rule.
Yes, 24 hour. Don't come out. Don't come at us after a ball game. Even if we win, it's still not the right time. But if we lose, it's definitely not the right
Definitely.
time.
All right. Well, I appreciate everything you and the other coaches do to help these boys become young men through baseball, and it obviously impacts other parts of their lives forever.
Obviously that's the most important thing. Is we want to be a positive influence on them as through their growing up. Hopefully we are. You've given us many compliments throughout the years that we've done a great job helping these young men grow, and that's our main goal, is helping them grow up to be good men, good husbands, good fathers. Playing a small part, playing a small role in it.
Definitely. Well, Coach, is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off this time? And we'll be back at it in a week or two whenever the time seems right to discuss some more of what's been going on.
No, I mean, help find a way to help the program, find a way to help the booster club. We got the best booster club in the state of Texas. I truly believe that. Everything that the booster club does helps support these young men, whether it's new uniforms, whatever we need for the program. That's what the booster club does, and they provide the funds for it. Budgets are only so big, and they can't pay for everything. So that's what the booster club does, is funds the things that the budget can't cover. So I mean, biggest thing is it's baseball season. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been waiting for this for a long time, so I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Like I said, I coach the best kids in the school. I really truly believe that. They're fun to be around. This is a great group to be around. And it's just fun to go to baseball practice every single day and be around these kids.
Yeah, I love that. I just look forward to the games and stuff. You get to look forward to baseball practice every day as well. And like I say, I've been looking forward to this since about May something last year.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Coach. Well, I sure appreciate you taking some time as always to talk openly and answer all the questions that even ones just pop into my mind spur of the moment. So
You know that anytime.
appreciate you again, and we'll see you soon. I'm Bill Frawley with head Viking baseball coach Paul Kino saying VFND.
Bye, everybody.